Alright, so literally the most frustrating thing happened. I recorded this whole video and then it told me that it didn't record, so we're going to kind of fly through this one a little bit. But I love talking about assets and liabilities, so hopefully it's still really fun. So we're going to be constructing a net worth statement, which means that, actually you've heard it before, so we're going to talk about it in a minute. Alright, assets and liabilities. Assets are things you own. They're paid for completely. So, for instance, my watch. My watch is an asset because I own it, okay? I paid for it, it's owned. They have a positive cash value, which means I don't own any money to anybody. Alright, examples: houses, cars, bicycles, positive bank accounts, that means we got money in the bank. Savings bonds, we'll talk about that later. Houses and cars, those are tricky because sometimes you can own them, but sometimes you can like rent them or owe money on them. So you have to make sure if your house or a car is an asset, you owe zero money on it. Alright? Liabilities are the debt that you owe. Okay, liabilities are debt. For instance, I don't own my car. I actually lease my car, and we'll talk about that in a second. They have a negative cash value. That means I'm still paying money on it. It means I don't completely own it yet. Alright, examples are car loans, like I was just telling you about. A lease is a loan. House mortgages. Probably most of your parents or grandparents pay mortgages. Okay? That's money that you owe on your house, and after a certain number of years, you'll completely own it and it'll become an asset. Credit card debt. Credit card. Credit card is something I definitely try and stay away from. It basically is fake money, and you get to swipe your card anywhere and pay it later, so it's super dangerous. Student loans, that's talking about a like college loan, and the government gave you money to go. It's not like a scholarship, because scholarships you don't have to pay back. Student loans, you definitely have to pay them back, so that's something that you owe, so that's a liability. So let's look at some. Money in a savings account. That's an asset because it's money that I have saved to use at a later time. Okay, it's money in your bank, you own it. A car loan. Car loan is a liability. I owe the bank money for the car, or you could own the dealership. I own the dealership. I owe the dealership money. For instance, I have a car. Her name is Leona. Yes, I named my car Leona. She is a Lexus. Okay, I pay Lexus every month to own my car. I do not completely own my car yet because I still have months to pay. Now, Miss Smith's car, she also named her car. Her car is named Pearl. Pretty white car. Miss Smith owns her car. That means she owes zero money on her car. She has completely paid off her car. Alright, so Miss Smith's car is an asset, but my car is a liability. A mountain bike. That is an asset because it says over here that I own the bike. If I own the bike, that means it's an asset. Alright, rent. Rent. That is a liability. The reason that's a liability is because it's money that you must pay every month. If you don't pay your rent, you're going to get kicked out, and that's no fun. Alright, credit card bill. Oh, that word, credit card. It's a liability because it's money that you owe on the credit card. And a savings bond. Savings bond is an asset because it's something you can exchange for cash. We're going to talk about that later. I wouldn't really worry about that too much. You shouldn't be hearing that too much. Alright, so on your own, I want you to list if these things are an asset or a liability. George leases a car for $175 per month. You should have said that that's a liability because he leases it. He does not own the car. He pays money every month to keep that car. So until his lease is completely paid off, it's a liability. Morgana, whatever her name is, she pays cash for a new flat screen television. Well, if she pays cash for it, it's an asset because she owns it and she can sell it if she wants to. Alright, constructing a net worth statement. You've actually, believe it or not, heard this word net worth before. Maybe you just haven't really paid much attention to it, but now you're going to hear it everywhere and you're going to know exactly what it's talking about. So, net worth is the difference between assets and liabilities. I wrote a little formula for you up here. Assets minus liabilities, because difference means minus. Net worth is, and is always equals, Net worth is equal to the assets minus the liabilities. Alright, a person's net worth is the value of their assets minus their liabilities. That's exactly what we just talked about. Assets minus liabilities. So, fun fact. Adam Levine's net worth, everybody loves Adam Levine. Adam Levine's net worth is $35 million. That means that he owns $35 million worth of things after he takes his liabilities away. After he pays off everything that he owes people or places or anything, he will still have $35 million, which is a ton. Okay, so how do we make this net worth statement, Ms. Hitchcock? You've been talking about it, but can we even make one? Yes, you can. First step is make a table of all your assets. Then make a table of all your liabilities. Then find the total of the assets and then find the total of the liabilities. Then subtract your total liabilities from your total assets. Like I said, assets minus liabilities, like I wrote it for you. Alright, now I told you I already rewrote on this, so I got to kind of switch papers. And this is my teacher notes, so I covered up down here what this was. Here's our example. It's not as pretty as yours, so I'm sorry. Andre owns a condominium with a value of $145,000. Well, this owns, that kind of sticks out to me, owns a condominium and has that value. Has stock portfolio, we'll talk about that, what that means, is $8,300. He owes $3,700 on his car, and it's valued at $9,500. Has $7,200 in student loans. Has a credit card balance of $4,372. Has $2,600 in a bank account. And so now it's saying construct a net worth statement to find Andre's net worth. So we know in the end our net worth is going to be equal to all of our assets minus all of our liabilities. But the first step is to make a table of all of our assets. So let's go through this. Owns. I see the word owns. When I own something, I know that's automatically a it's automatically an asset. So I'm going to go ahead and put condo. Okay? Sorry, I'm covering this up. I'm going to put a condo. I'm going to put the condo is worth $145,000 because that's what it says. I'm going to go through a stock portfolio. Okay, what does this stock portfolio mean? Stock portfolio means stock. Stock means take the company Apple. Apple will say, Little Susie, you can buy part of our company. That's called stock. Little Susie says, okay, I want to buy part of your company, Apple. So she buys a little bit. Now, if she buys a little bit, she gets a little bit back. Okay? So she makes money. So this stock portfolio is all of her stocks in like a little book. It's a portfolio book. Okay? So she owns that. So we're going to put stock portfolio is $8,300. Then owes, I don't like the word owes, but I know I have a car that's valued at $9,500. If I have a car that's valued that much, that's an asset. Okay, then it says student loans. I know loan I have to pay back, so that's not good. Credit card, remember, you have to pay money on a credit card, so that's probably not good. But then I see $2,600 in a bank account. And I know when I have money in the bank, that's an asset. So, bank is $2,600. Now, it says add them all together. If you added them all together, you should have got $165,400. You should have paused that. My bad. Alright? Then we got to come over here to our liabilities. Alright, let's talk. We already talked about the condominium. We talked about the stock portfolio. Owes. Remember this word owes? We know this word owes is that's not good. So, owes $3,700. So I know that's a liability. So I put car and it's how much I owe. So I put $3,700. Okay, I took care of this $9,500 already. He has $7,200 in student loans. That means he's going to pay $7,200 worth of student loans. So he has to pay it, so it's going to be a liability. A credit card. Remember, credit card you pay back. So a credit card balance is going to be also on here. Is that it? It looks like that might be it. So you add all this together, and you should have gotten $15,272. Now, using this formula down here that we wrote, see if you can find the net worth statement. Pause it and see if you can find it. So I'm hoping you're honest and truthful, and you paused it, and you would have done $165,400 minus your total liabilities, which was $15,272. Now, if you're confused on how I'm doing all these steps, remember, you have all these steps up here. You have step 1, step 2, step 3. We're on step 4 right now, okay? So you subtract it, and that's going to give me my net worth, because really my question is constructing a net worth statement to find Andre's net worth. So if you subtract these two, please subtract them. Okay, and you would found out that the net worth is equal to $149,678. Now, Ms. Hitchcock made this awesome activity for tomorrow. So please make sure you look back in your notes and kind of look at what an asset is and kind of look at what a liability is. Maybe think of some fun ways for you to remember it to bring back to class tomorrow. All right, have a great day.